These are stunning opening traps of London system, and you can crush your opponent very easily with these traps. You would have seen these lines countless number of times when we just play the bishop out and e3 is coming. So we have knight f6, e3 and now c5. This is the standard move. We just want to challenge the center. There are many moves possible. You can play the knight move, you can play this knight, or the most popular you can play c3. We just make the triangular like structure, and this is pretty standard. We have e6 and now this knight is coming into the game. Knight comes out and we also develop our knight to d2 because we don't have the knight jumping on c3 square. So bishop comes out. These are the standard moves. We just challenge the bishop, so bishop goes back and we just castle with black. So there are two moves possible. Magnus also played these openings a million times, where he played the bishop move, which is quite famous move. I will show you once you get the theory. So the main idea, we want to play the bishop to d3. So bishop d3 and now the queen is getting developed. So once this queen comes into the game, you have a very standard stuff and you can play the knight in the center. And for the beginners, you should never capture with the knight because you allow this fork to happen and black can easily lose the game in this fashion. So that's not happening. Everyone knows this trap. So knight back is one of the standard idea, and other moves are also possible. You could play this queen to c7 and we just challenge this knight a lot, and then we can just push f4 and we have castle. We have still a very good game. So this is also possible, but knight move is also good, and we just challenge this knight. Okay, now we have to go for the trade. So we just capture here, bishop capture, and now we go for the series of exchanges. Queen captures. Up to here everything is good. After this pawn captures, this attacks the queen, and the best move for black is to just play the queen back and don't capture this pawn. Okay, if you really capture this, that is the trap, and it starts from this brilliant bishop sacrifice. I think you would have understood this line because everyone knows about this trap. So after this king capture, queen check, and you have to find a very specific idea. You can pause the video to try, and I congratulate you all who spotted this brilliant idea. And now we play the knight move, attacks the queen. So it is not possible, we cannot capture this because okay, this queen would be hanging and that's it. So this game has also been raised against the grandmaster. Grandmaster is playing with the black pieces, and maybe he would be knowing about this trap, but he still played this line, and who knows, maybe he would not be knowing this trap. So queen goes back, and this is the worst move in this position, and the grandmaster also played this move. So okay, now you can play the knight move. We are threatening checkmate, so checkmate is never going to stop unless you give up the queen. Okay, if we just try to move the rook, let's say here, we just deliver check, and this would be just a checkmate. So obviously this is not possible, and the grandmaster played the queen capture, and the game ended in a draw. The grandmaster was having the rating 2900 on leeches, and the opponent was having 2700 rating. I couldn't believe that how 2700 rated player blundered the threefold repetition. There was a threefold repetition after when two rooks was delivering checks from here. So that was the game. Obviously miracle doesn't happen every time, and you know this is the complete winning game for white if you don't blunder really. So that is why this move is losing. Queen should never go back, and there are two possible moves. You could play the pawn push, which looks appealing. Okay, we just attack the queen, but now we just grab the queen. So we have pawn capture, and this knight comes with a threat on the rook, and also once the rook move, we have a very standard check, and we can pick up the free pawn. So we would be completely up 2 pawns, and that would be easily winning game if you don't blunder. So that is one possibility. You could also try this queen back, also suggested by the engine. You can now play the knight move. We just go for check. So let's say the rook moves, we can first deliver this check, and once the queen goes back, we can deliver another check, and once queen goes here, king goes here, we can again deliver check, come back, and then you castle here, and that would be a really good game. Okay, we can again deliver check, we just come to this square, we are threatening checkmate, so king should move, and now this pawn is hanging, so we just want to castle, and that's the game. Because there is no good moves in this position for black, and you really black is really suffering a lot. After this pawn push is coming, maybe the rook lift can take place, and we can just pressurize the center, and this would be easy win. But black should never try and play this rook here, because this would be a pretty easy checkmate, because we already know rook is not coming in an open file.